Hello everyone. In this video, we are looking another level in our web application or web development environment. Now, in our previous videos, we have dealt with other structures in HTML and how we can able to insert our text and other aspects with the element that we have learned so far. Now, we want to also look at how we can able to layer our structure and bring in more beautification in there too for our audience to also see what we ideas in a nice way. So in we introduce what we call CSS. Now when we say CSS is Cascading Style Sheet. So CSS itself is a language, we call it a star sheet. Yes, SS. We call it a star sheet. But cascading is more popular in using a star sheet in there, and there are a lot of star sheets in there. We have the less, LESS, we have the SAS, SASS. But cascading, that's the CSS is more popular. Now, why cascading? When we say cascading, it's like a waterfall. It flow from one level to the other, and like that, and then it goes and goes and goes. So the star cascading star should work in that level forms. It flow from one level to the other. Now it tell the browser how pages to look like, bring in colors, bring in fonts and layout. And this one, it work as I said with the structure of the HTML structure what we have done. So CSS bring in the star, as I said. So it flow, as I said, cascading flow from one level and it come in, and then to the lowest level. Now, one cascading star sheet can change hundreds of HTML pages at once. So we'll see. In somewhere 1996, W3 Costume as W3C accepted star sheets, and it's a separate content that come and bring in more presentation in there. So we'll have a look at how this star sheet in there. Now, when you take in these few browsers in there without star sheet, let's see. So this is an example of a web application which we have applied in a CSS in there. So let's see application without CSS. Let's see how the content will be. So this one without a star sheet in there. Let's see how it will look like to the audio without the star sheet. So if you have a look at it, this is the actual structure without the star sheet in there. So we've already learned this one heading with a paragraph, and then this one is just a button. So we'll be taking that when you're doing JavaScript. And these ones are list of items using the anchor tag. So all these ones are list item. So if you see, with the help of the CSS, the content is well laid out nicely. But you see this one with that CSS, the content, it look with just the structure of the HTML. So CSS is very important. It lay out our content in a way that we want our audience to be able to read it in a nice way. When you take a look, YouTube, for instance, there are a lot of stuff is there. So if I disable our CSS in, let's see. So if you want to disable in, if I disable in here, and then I run it without it, you can see how the structure looks like. So this is how YouTube without the CSS is looking in there. So you can see just the text with just an image being listed in there, like what we have done so far. So this is a student portal. This one too without the CSS. Let's see how it look like. So this one too without the CSS. So if we can see, that's how the structure look like. So the image is so big, and then it's so not it doesn't look nice like with the CSS. So you can see this how it look like with the without the CSS with the content in there. So CSS is very important. It lay out content, it bring in more colors. So you can see how the content has been laid with the help of the CSS. So if I refresh this one, the content come in nicely. And this one too, if I refresh it, the content come in nicely. So you can see that CSS bring more beautification and layout of your content in there as for us. So CSS is very important. CSS is very important when it comes in structuring our web applications in there. So you watch this video, you have any comments or you have any suggestion, you share, you like, and then so we continue with our next lesson. All right, bye bye, and God be with you and stay blessed. Bye.